There is a version of your brain that remembers names the moment it hears them, that reads a page once and keeps it, that stays sharp late into the night while everyone around you fades. You were not born without it. You have simply never been shown how to switch it on. And the strangest part is that one of the most powerful ways to do it is to do absolutely nothing at all. In the next few minutes, you are going to learn 6 things, every one of them backed by real science, that physically change the structure of your brain. Not tricks, not motivation. Actual, measurable rewiring that makes you learn faster, remember more, and think clearer. Most of them are free. All of them start today. And the 6th one is the one almost nobody believes until they see the research. So stay with me, because by the end you will understand your own mind better than you did this morning, and you will know exactly what to do about it. Start with the one that sounds too simple to matter. Move your body. When you do anything aerobic, a brisk walk, a run, a bike ride, your body releases a protein with a clumsy name and enormous power. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists who study it call it something friendlier. Miracle-Gro for the brain. A neuroscientist named Wendy Suzuki spent years studying what exercise does to the mind, and what she found is startling. A single workout sharpens your focus and mood for hours afterward. But do it consistently, and something bigger happens. The hippocampus, the seahorse-shaped structure where new memories are born, physically grows. You are not just burning calories. You are building a bigger machine for learning. The people who seem effortlessly sharp are very often just people who move. But here is the catch that ruins it for most people. Exercise plants the seeds. It is what happens while you sleep that lets them grow. And this is where the second upgrade comes in, the one you are probably sabotaging every single night. While you sleep, your brain does 2 things it cannot fully do while you are awake. First, it takes everything you learned that day and files it into long-term storage, replaying the memories, locking them in. A sleep scientist named Matthew Walker has shown that people who sleep after learning something remember it dramatically better than people who stay awake. Pull an all-nighter to study, and you can lose up to 40% of your ability to make new memories. But sleep does something even stranger. A researcher named Maiken Nedergaard discovered that during deep sleep, your brain opens up a kind of plumbing system and flushes itself with fluid, washing out the toxic waste that builds up during the day, including the very proteins linked to dementia. When you cut your sleep short, you are not being productive. You are skipping the nightly wash cycle your brain depends on to stay clean and clear. So you have moved, and you have slept. Now comes the question of how you actually learn, and almost everyone does it the wrong way. This is the 3rd upgrade, and it might be the most useful thing you hear today. When most people try to learn something, they read it, then read it again, then highlight it, then read it one more time. It feels like learning. It is almost useless. Over 100 years ago, a psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus mapped what he called the forgetting curve, and it is brutal. Learn something once, and within a day most of it is gone. But there is a way to defeat that curve, and it feels worse in the moment, which is exactly why it works. Instead of rereading, close the book and force yourself to recall. Test yourself. 2 researchers named Henry Roediger and Jeffrey Karpik proved that struggling to retrieve a memory strengthens it far more than passively reviewing it ever could. The effort is the point. Every time you make your brain reach for an answer, you carve the pathway deeper. Rereading is comfortable and it lies to you. Testing is uncomfortable and it works. Now, everything so far has been about learning better. The 4th upgrade is about becoming permanently smarter by exploiting a feature of your brain that scientists once thought adults had lost. For most of the 20th century, doctors believed the adult brain was fixed. You got what you got, and it only declined from there. Then a scientist named Eleanor Maguire scanned the brains of London taxi drivers, who spend years memorizing every one of the city's 25,000 streets. What she found rewrote the textbooks. Their hippocampi were measurably larger than other people's, and the longer they had driven, the bigger they had grown. Their brains had physically reshaped themselves around a hard skill. This is neuroplasticity, and it does not stop when you grow up. Every time you learn something genuinely difficult, a language, an instrument, a new craft, you are not just gaining a hobby. You are building new tissue, new connections, a more resilient mind. The brain is not a container that fills up. It is a muscle that grows under load. Comfort shrinks it. Difficulty builds it. Which brings us to the 5th upgrade. and it is the one that quietly controls all the others. Your attention. Because none of this works if you cannot hold your focus long enough to use it. Your ability to concentrate is not fixed either. It can be trained, and the training is older than science. A Harvard researcher named Sarah Lazar scanned the brains of people who meditate regularly and found something remarkable. The regions tied to attention and self-control were thicker. In some cases, meditation appeared to slow the age-related thinning of the cortex, so that 50-year-old meditators had the brain tissue of much younger people in key areas. And you do not need hours. Just a few minutes a day of sitting still, watching your breath, and gently pulling your mind back every time it wanders. That pulling back, that tiny repeated act, is a bicep curl for your focus. In a world engineered to shatter your attention every few seconds, learning to hold it may be the single most valuable skill you can build. And now the sixth one, the one I promised. The one that sounds like a joke until you see what is actually happening inside your skull. To upgrade your brain, you have to let yourself be bored. Here is the science. When you stop focusing on any task, when you stare out a window, or take a shower, or walk with no phone, your brain does not switch off. It switches into a different mode entirely. A neuroscientist named Marcus Raichle discovered a network that only lights up when you are doing nothing in particular. He called it the default mode network. And this is where some of your most important thinking happens. It is where your brain connects distant ideas, solves problems in the background, consolidates who you are, and produces those sudden flashes of insight that arrive in the shower and never at your desk. But this network has a mortal enemy. The moment you feel a flicker of boredom and reach for your phone, you shut it down. You have trained your brain to never wander, and in doing so you have starved it of the very state where creativity and deep insight are born. The most counterintuitive way to think better is to deliberately do nothing and let your mind off its leash. So look at what you actually have now. 6 upgrades, and not one of them requires a pill, a gadget, or a genius level of willpower. Move your body and grow the machine. Protect your sleep and let it save what you learned and wash itself clean. Test yourself instead of rereading and beat the forgetting curve. Keep learning hard things and physically build a bigger brain. Train your attention a few minutes a day and reclaim your focus from a world designed to steal it. And let yourself be bored so the quiet part of your mind can finally do its deepest work. That sharper version of you, the one who remembers, who learns fast, who thinks clearly when it matters, was never a different person born luckier than you. It was always just your own brain, running the way it was built to run, waiting for you to stop getting in its way. You do not need to become someone else. You only need to start, tonight, with one of these. And the doing nothing counts too. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. A new video goes up on this channel every single day. It would mean everything to have you here.